Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. Being a student pilot is hard.
Oh my God, Russ can fly.
Okay, so being a student pilot is definitely difficult. And I know a lot of people on YouTube make this whole thing easy, but I want to make this video and this whole flight, kind of confirming that, if you're a student pilot now, you are facing a lot of decisions and trials, and it is not easy. And I know a lot of people may make it look like it's easy and fun on YouTube, and it is, but it is difficult. We're gonna get into it, when I go on this flight. We're going to Fisherman's Island up in New York. So yeah, being a student pilot is difficult, and even one of the difficult things is, what headset to use. I am proud to say this video is proudly sponsored by an amazing company that's gonna make your lives as student pilots much easier. I love this company, and that's the reason why I agreed to do this video shout out for this company. It's called Airplace, and I'm gonna put the website address up in the top, and I'll just leave it there. You really should check this out. Here's the thing. So you see this wonderful woman here named Rebecca. She was right in the same place that all of us were in terms of being student pilots and what headset to use, how to get one, and all of that kind of thing. Well, Miss Rebecca and her company Airplace have made it very easy for you to get your hands on quality headsets. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say to you. Yes, you can get cheap headsets that do not have noise canceling capabilities. I would highly suggest that you really get an ANR, or an active noise reduction headset. And Miss Rebecca has made it easy for you. All you have to do is go on Airplace, sign up, and you can actually rent high quality headphones for your flights. I mean, that is amazing. One of the things that Miss Rebecca knew is that as a student pilot, she was having a difficult time finding good headsets and all that kind of stuff. So she created this company with you, student pilot, in mind. So definitely check it out. We'll talk some more when we get up, in the airplane, because the flight today is going to be pretty awesome. We're going to Fisherman's Island. I found this flight because a brother named Bruno, who I have not flown with yet, has his own YouTube channel. He did this whole, can he fly in 3 states or 4 states within 40 minutes? I thought that was awesome. And he flew from Fisherman's Island to start. So I want to go check this place out. But yeah, Airplace is definitely a big help for you, student pilot, to get your hands on a quality headset. And here's the kicker. When you sign up, you can actually rent to own the headset. So yeah, if you want to do a Zulu Lightspeed or a Lightspeed Sierra, or even a Bose, headset, I guess it's like the A3 or whatever. If you go on Airspace, you check it out, you'll see what headsets they have available. Once we get in the airplane, I'm going to talk more about some of the difficulties that I had, just to confirm that yes, student pilots on YouTube may make this look easy, but there are some difficulties, and let's talk about it. All right, I'm in the airplane. Pre-flight is done. I was able to pull the airplane out, and we're gonna get this party started. Now, one of the things that I need to be cognizant of is, of course, with all the different dignitaries and people who are showing up at the taping of this video, of course, there's TFRs popping up constantly, and of course, there is one that is going to be coming live at 6:30. So just have to be mindful of that. Also, I am flying over some pretty busy airspace, LaGuardia airfield in Newark. So have to go up to 7,500 feet. So I might have to spend some time going out west before I hit east, so I can just make sure I get some good elevation, since I have to be above that 7,000 foot Bravo shelf. And yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is make sure that I'm on their frequencies. And I've had difficulties with flight following. They just don't want to be busy, just like stay out of my airspace. So that's what I'm going to do, and just kind of keep it simple. So let's go ahead and get this engine started, and we'll get everything set up. And we'll talk about this whole thing about being a student pilot, because I don't want any student pilots out there to think that, you know, you're watching these different YouTube videos and somehow there's something wrong with you. Why is this so much more difficult for me and so easy for others? Not so fast. I'm here to confirm that, you know, being a student pilot is difficult. So let me get to this checklist, run through some stuff, start the engine, and you know, we'll get ready to make magic happen. Clear prop. Check, check, check. All right, very good. Oh, that is so nice. No, new fresh set of batteries. So awesome. One of the things that I found out is that, man, you lose your batteries in these A&R headsets. You know, it really makes a huge difference. And that's why I like what Miss Rebecca is doing in terms of her aerospace company and making, you know, really high quality headphones available for people. Because yes, you can, like I said, you could do a passive, you know, set of a passive headset, but I'm gonna tell you, you know, active noise reduction in these headsets really do make a huge difference. So, you know, that's why I love so much about it. And again, and here is the website address. Definitely go check it out. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you can reach out and just ask her any questions. But I'm telling you, having a good headset, especially during your training, is extremely important. Remember, you're going to be in this cockpit. There's going to be a lot going on. And the last thing you want to worry about is whether or not you can hear your instructor, or, you know, if you can hear ATC or anything like that. So definitely something to be mindful of. All right, so I'm going to get myself set up to get ready to taxi on out, get ready to make this flight. We've got a ETD, estimated time of departure, at 1:30, and it is 1:15. And yes, I have filed a VFR flight plan. So we're going to Fisherman's Island, or Elizabeth Field, 0 Bravo 8. It is just south of Groton New London Airport in Connecticut. And really, that's one thing they have to be careful, because it's close to their airspace. So let's get this flight plan in here. And this is giving me time to let this oil warm up as well. All right, let's go up and check our brakes. Brakes are good. All right, let's go on out. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. I've been doing just fantastic. Just really enjoying a lot of flying in Charlie and just having a lot of fun. Doors and windows are locked. Trim is set for takeoff. Mixture is full rich. Fuel pump is going to come on. Taxi landing light is going to come on. And field is clear. Don't see anybody on final. Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie. We'll be departing runway 5 out to the east, Doylestown. So one of the things that's going on, it was really busy this day, so that's why you didn't hear me do a lot of commentary, and you can see me just kind of like lining up and really getting ready to get out of here. So let's get it.
Runway 5, Doylestown.
All right, heels to the floor, full power. All right, engine instruments in the green, oil temp, oil pressure, all look good. Airspeed is coming alive. Wind was variable, so I had a little bit of a tailwind on this takeoff. And 60, 65, and we're off. And one of my decision points is the windsock. If I am not making good power and I'm not at 65 by the windsock, I'm going to abort that takeoff. And I looked like I was in pretty good shape, even though I had a little bit of a tailwind. So definitely was checking. All right, everything looks good. Taxi landing light can come off.
Traffic
Fuel pump can come off.
3.5 miles straight into 5.
Doylestown traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, right crosswind out to the east, last call Doylestown. Man, she's climbing like crazy. Nice and cool out here today. All right, so just climbing out nicely. And as you can see, I'm kind of hand flying it. Landing light is off, fuel pump is off, fuel pressure looks good. Oil pressure looks good. We're on the right main, and we will be climbing up to 7,500. And again, I'm just looking for anything unusual. Everything has been good. But yeah, look at this. I mean, she is climbing beautifully. Climbing out at about 1,000 feet a minute. I haven't seen this because, you know, when I bought Charlie, I bought her in May, and I've been flying her mostly through the summer. And so it's been, you know, warm more than anything. But yeah, I mean, it's this is one of the cooler days that we've been flying, and she is getting it. We're already at 5,000 feet almost, and we're 5 minutes into the flight. And so my first waypoint, Princeton, is where I need to be at a good altitude, or else I'll, you know, maybe, you know, do a little bit of a spirally climb. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm clearly at 7,500. All right, so I'm just listening to this frequency so I can just listen to what airplanes are doing. I got the altimeter. Just wanted to be dialed in that way. And so yeah, so we're talking about being a student pilot. And you know, as I already mentioned about the whole headset thing, you know, if you're just getting started, really think about getting a really good headset. I definitely recommend looking at Airplace. They have some great options. And, you know, Rebecca herself is a pilot, was a student pilot at one time. She knows exactly what we went through as student pilots. And so that's the first thing that can be a little bit difficult. But that's one resource that you could use, and I definitely suggest you take it, you know, check it out. There's, you know, so many different types of headsets, and you may be able to even talk to her about, you know, different types of headsets. But using Airplace, you can definitely have access to some pretty decent headsets for sure. And so that would be the first thing that can be some difficulty is equipment. What equipment do you need? From headsets to knee boards to iPads to yoke mounts, it can all be pretty daunting. And I don't want anybody to think that, you know, over time I haven't struggled with that. And of course, because I do content creation, that was something else that I needed to be cognizant of. But yeah, that was one of the things that I kind of struggled with at the beginning is like, you know, what kind of headset should I get? And I, you know, really, what I ended up doing is just buying something because I saw another pilot with them on. I think it was like another YouTuber, I think Aviation 101 or M08. I think one of those two of them were doing light speed, so I heard light speed, so I did light speed. But you can kind of simplify it a little bit more, and you don't have to do these, but you know, like I said, with Airspace you can have access to them. If you look out there real quick, that is New York.
New York Delta 180.
So look out here, this is just gorgeous. Got New York over here, New York City, got Newark over this way. I mean, this airspace can be very complex. The thing that makes it easy is that, you know, it tops out at 7,000 feet. And so going this direction, I have to go odd plus 500, so I'm at 7,500, so I'm above their airspace. But it's still kind of intimidating, you know, because it's like Newark, LaGuardia, JFK. I mean, some of the largest airports in the East, you know, so it's definitely a little nerve-wracking. And especially there's a lot of big iron around here. And so, yeah, so that's the first thing, equipment. The one thing, not only headphones that I deal with, but, you know, the type of knee board. But the thing that I really struggled with was iPad and how I was going to do core flight on an iPad mini. Just real quick before I get back to what I was saying about the iPad and stuff, because I ran into an issue there for sure.
Delta 185 Heavy has Golf.
We are currently going 141 knots over the ground. Got a nice 10-knot tailwind, so we're cooking. I'm at 2375 RPMs. And yeah, we are showing 108 true, 110 indicated, and like I said, 100 now, 147 over the ground. We are cooking, baby. And I got to pay attention to my fuel tanks because I definitely want to be switching. All right, so one of the things that did come up was the iPad situation. So originally I had this iPad knee board thing, and it just sucked because I was constantly doing this. And then one of the things I noticed is I got a little air sick just because of this head up, head down, head up, head down thing. And it definitely wasn't the best time for real. And so I definitely didn't like that. So I went from that to a yoke mount. Now this yoke mount works very, very well. It sits in between the two handles of my yoke, and it's out of the way. I can see all my instruments. It does block my oil pressure down here, but I also have oil pressure up here in my JPI engine monitor, and so it's not as bad. Oh, real quick, so we are going to be flying right over JFK. And it literally is right here. Like literally right over top of it. And believe it or not, for me, this is the safest place to be because airplanes, big airplanes are taking off and landing, and they're gonna be much different distance. And actually the radio's pretty quiet. Not hearing much, which is kind of interesting. Definitely a trip to be flying over such a big airport. I see 22 right.
Heading 240 degrees.
31 right.
Island 22 left approach.
22 left. Somebody just landed on 22 left. That is just crazy, man. Oh my gosh, the stuff you get to see. So anyway, so yeah, student pilots. I mean, that's one of the things that was like really tough for me, is trying to dial that whole thing in with the iPad. And one of the things I will say is ForeFlight, definitely a great tool to have for situational awareness for sure. And even there you may say, okay, well, even that's a little bit of a struggle. What should I do there? If you're going to do ForeFlight or probably even Garmin Pilot, I think they have a facility where, or a thing where you can basically, not take a test, but they basically ask you some questions and it'll tell you, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, these are the things that you should be looking for. So the most important thing to do is to fly and make sure I'm situationally aware of traffic and all of that good stuff. All right, I'm going to switch tanks here on the right main. Fuel pump is going to come on. Fuel pressure is good. We're going to go over to the left main. Left main is in. Fuel pressure is good. Fuel pump comes on. And fuel pressure is good. I'm on the left main for 30. All right. So sorry for all the distractions, but definitely got to keep flying here and paying attention. Make sure I'm focused on traffic and just listening to approach here. I'm gonna get back down to my altitude too. So yeah, so Garmin or ForeFlight will, do a little thing and they'll show you which plan is best for you. So make sure you do that. Do I suggest you get it? Yes. Do you have to have it? No. Especially during flight training, you don't have to have ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot. During your flight training, whatever avionics are in the airport and whatever avionics are in the airplane, they will do just fine. And don't think that it's a problem, because it really isn't. You'll be able to do your flight training, without it. And so I know there might be some pressure to do, Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. You can, like I said, you can train just fine. So one of the other things that'll be difficult, and I did have some difficulty with this, is matching with the right instructor. The most crucial relationship you'll have in your whole flight training are your flight instructors. That relationship is very important. Okay, so back to, I'm just blocking there's like a lot of traffic around in this part of the corridor. Wow, look at that. Look at that big baby right in front of us there. I'm not even exactly sure what that is, but that is a big, big airplane. Wow, that is a big airplane. So, yeah, so back to certified flight instructor. So that is one of the most important relationships you have. Do not hesitate to change CFIs, talk to them, ask about their philosophy. the efficiency of your training can be determined by that relationship. And so you can have all kinds of problems. Now, one of the problems you could end up having is you have a great CFI and they end up leaving, because one of the things that a lot of the flight instructors are doing is they're flight instructors because they're trying to build their time to go to the airlines. And so that can be a struggle. That did happen to me, but I will say that the second CFI that I got, Manish, chef's kiss. I mean, you know, it couldn't have been any better. And so, and that's why I know. Now, the first CFI that I had, I didn't know any better, right? And so we flew a couple times, seemed to be perfectly fine, but he ended up leaving, and I ended up with a new CFI. So that sometimes will happen, and I'll be a struggle. If you find yourself with a new CFI and it's just not working, it's just not working. Remember, it's your journey. You know, don't let anybody make you feel that you have to stay with somebody. It's your journey and it is your money. And so there can be some difficulties around dialing that in, the whole flight instructor thing. And so, you know, just know that, you know, that can be a struggle, but work that out. And if it continues to be like a little bit of an issue, if you're not sure, talk to the head flight instructor. Tell them about your learning style. Let them know, you know, what makes sense to you. And so, you know, don't be afraid to, you know, have that conversation. So don't be ashamed, you know, and don't be afraid, you know, to reach out and change if you have to. The CFI will actually be happy if you get with somebody that makes sense to you. So that could be, you know, one of those things that could be a little bit of a struggle. And so if that's been your experience, don't feel bad. That's not unusual at all. And if you find yourself currently in that situation, or you feel like the CFI you currently have, you guys aren't really clicking, then make a change, you know, and be unapologetic about that. You know, don't feel that you have to keep a flight instructor. You do not. And so I know that can be a little bit of a struggle because, you know, you don't want the person to feel bad and all that kind of stuff. But it's better for you to have your situation be what you want it to be versus being in a situation where you're with somebody and it's just not working. The other thing, it could be the flight school itself. You know, maybe the flight school is not working. And so, you know, if you have to change flight schools, do that. You know, don't be afraid. And sometimes that's a struggle. And so, like I said, it is your journey. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to stop there for I had to take a break. So you see I had to come out over here. All right, so if you look out here, this is absolutely beautiful. So I think this is the Long Island Sound, and it's just, this is always just so beautiful. That's why, man, you know, flying around here is just, you know, before I start doing long cross countries, there's so much up here to explore between New York and New Jersey and Connecticut. I mean, like, in this Fisherman's Island thing is just going to be kind of cool. I don't like the $20 landing fee, but it is what it is. Price of admission. And I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but you see, like, there's like this bluish water here. Then there's like kind of like clearer, less blue. It's interesting. Maybe that's just not as deep right there. But anyway, so yeah, the other struggle could be just like your flight school. And, you know, don't be afraid to vote with your feet there as well. All right, so we are 34 nautical miles out, and I'm going to start descending. We'll go down to, so wait a minute. I want to make sure I'm good. Yeah, we'll go down to 5,500. So yeah, so don't be afraid to vote with your feet. You know, the other thing is, you know, you will have difficulties, you know, with takeoffs, landings, short field, soft field, turns around the point, S-turns. There'll be something that will challenge you. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, it took me a good month, or no, my time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, landings, oh my gosh, it took me like a solid 3 months. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because it was about what I was looking at and looking out over the cowling and seeing like this sight picture and what that looked like. I mean, it was definitely a trip. And so just know that there's going to be aspects of the flights that you're going to be struggling with. Give yourself some grace and just know that every student pilot has struggled with some aspect of, their flight training. It's not just you. Being a student pilot when you're first getting your private pilot's license is such an amazing but difficult and trying undertaking. You're talking about all new language. I mean, unless you've grown up in aviation, all of this is going to be new to you. The six-pack, left turning tendencies, Bernoulli's principle, flight planning, all of this kind of stuff. It is going to be a lot. And so I know there's a lot of people on here that make it look easy. You see a lot of these teenagers who've flown around the world and all of that kind of stuff. And I say, good for them. But if you're struggling, please don't compare yourself to somebody who gets something easy. So for instance, if you look at somebody else who's getting their, pilot's license and they have no problem landing. They're greasing like right from word go. And you're struggling, don't worry about what they're doing. Because there may be some other aspect that you pick up so easily that they struggle with. And so don't worry about, what's happening with people and their flight. Just, handle your business and just know that everybody at some point has had some difficulty. I kid you not. I am serious about that. And so there is some things that are hard. And, aircraft being unavailable, scheduling issues, CFI availability, illness, all of that stuff comes up. I mean, it really, really is trying. So here's the bottom line, student pilots. I want you guys to feel good about what you're doing in your training now or what you experienced back in the day. And if there's other pilots out there that can confirm that, yeah, this is not easy, don't give up. That is the bottom line. Do not quit. Yes, I almost quit. Remember, if you look back some videos years ago, I took my written exam and initially I failed it. And that day I was going to quit because I just felt that this whole thing was not for me. And so it is a struggle. And I tried to be as transparent as possible with, my experiences and what I saw during my time. And so you'll see a lot of different things. And it took me some time to get my private pilot's license. And so, please don't be hard on yourself. Don't think that, everything is rainbows and unicorns and all that kind of stuff. Everybody struggles to some extent. It is not just you. So if you find yourself currently in that situation, hold on. Keep fighting for it. Push through. Talk to your CFI. Tell them how you're struggling. See if there's something else you can do. Fly with another CFI. Even if you love your CFI, fly with another one. Just for them to get a different perspective, you to get a different perspective, all of that good stuff. All right, so the field is right out in front of me here, but I'm dealing with a traffic situation right now. Right here in front of me. It's basically up there a little bit. So I am going to get ready to prepare myself for landing. Fisher's Island traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, about 11 south west of the field, inbound from runway 25, Fishers. All right, so I know that there's a TBM doing their thing, so I believe that's Fisher's Island right there. So you got New York, and then on that side is Connecticut. All right, I see the field right out there in front there. So see it? So right there, you see like there's an open area, and then there's like blacktop. That is the runway we're gonna land on. And Fisher's traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie 5 to the west. Gonna do a left downwind for runway 25. Got the landing traffic in sight,
Fisher's traffic, Pilatus 28 November X-ray, short final 30. Thank you for that, sir. We'll be back taxiing for the ramp once we land.
Roger that. Fisher's traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, left downwind, runway 25, Fisher's.
And Fisher's traffic, Pilatus 28 November X-rays, back taxiing 25 for the ramp. We'll expedite it for you.
Taxi landing lights on, fuel pump is on.
And Fisher's traffic, Pilatus 28 November X-ray, clear of the active, and the wind is right down the pipe for 25. Have a good landing.
Thank you very much. And Fisher's traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, final 25, Fisher's. Man, this is such a beautiful flight. So, you know, sorry it's so long, but man, it was just so great. So let's go ahead and put Charlie on the ground. Let's land.
Richmond traffic, Kansas 51 Romeo Vector, left downwind.
And Fisher's traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, back taxiing, runway 25 to the ramp, Fisher's. And Fisher's traffic, Cherokee 1541 Charlie, clear of runway 25, Fisher's. That's the Pilatus that just landed. They were nice and friendly. Okay, so welcome to Fisher's Island. And definitely want to thank my brother Bruno for, you know, talking about this place. I think when he did his flight, I think he probably did a touch and go and then shot over to Groton. So yeah, I'm just gonna see what this place is about. Like I said, there's nothing. Now, that was the Pilatus that was calling. Awesome people. You know, thank you so much, Pilatus, for showing a brother some love. Really appreciate that. But yeah, man, this was such an awesome flight. So what I'm going to do is, apparently there's like a cafe or something you can walk to. So let's just walk around this place a little bit and see what we got. So I know this video has been going on for a long time, but you know, there was just so much packed into this flight. Such an amazing flight, and I just couldn't bear to, like, you know, cut away too much of this stuff. But yeah, this artwork was like fascinating. It's like different fishing lures in like giant sizes, and it was just kind of amazing. It was just randomly at the pier where I think, you know, you see these, you know, ducks running away from me or some kind of waterfowl. But yeah, it was just on this random place where I think the ferry comes in, and just gorgeous. So any of my pilot friends out there, I mean, definitely check out Fisher's Island. Awesome spot. Thank you for flying with me. Gonna check out some more of this Fisher's Island. Russ can fly. Check out airspace. Reach out to Rebecca. Russ Kid, I'm out. Peace.